Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headache stack. Restlessness to
OPPO, are you really putting an actual Hasselblad logo inside a smartphone? That's a bold. And right away, the packaging feels different too. The Find X9 Ultra no longer comes in that typical rectangular box. It's now a square. A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting tech content. Let's crack it open and take a look. All right. Interesting. It almost feels like carrying a pocket-sized Hasselblad. Inside, there's a soft white silicone case that wraps around the entire phone. You also get a 100-watt charger, though honestly, it would have been even better if it used a USB-C port. There's also an A to C data cable included. Now, I haven't seen the official version before, but there have been plenty of renders floating around, and they all look pretty similar. So which one is actually real? Let's find out. Okay, it's white. This color is called Polar Glacier, and instead of mixing materials, the back is made from a single piece of fiberglass. You can notice a subtle glacier-like texture across it. At first glance, the design doesn't seem drastically different from the previous generation, but once you look closer, the details really stand out. Right in the center of that circular camera module, the Hasselblad logo is much brighter this time. No matter the angle or lighting, it's instantly noticeable. Hasselblad, front and center. Now, the black circle inside the camera module has changed too. It's no longer perfectly round. Instead, it leans toward a hexagonal shape. The edges are still slightly softened, but it definitely gives off that hexagonal vibe. And honestly, it looks pretty good. Just below the camera module, there's a small orange dot, very much in line with Hasselblad's design language. Around the module, the numbers and tiny text have been repositioned inside this hexagonal layout. The small orange dots from before are gone, replaced by a full orange scale ring along the bottom of the camera module. The design itself feels layered. The middle section has a vertical focus ring texture, while the top layer forms that hexagonal shape. Compared to the previous generation's more gradual circular layering, this one feels even closer to a real camera, very much inspired by Hasselblad's aesthetic. Now let's talk about the cameras, because this thing is packed. There are 5 in total. At the top, you've got a 10x optical zoom lens with 50 megapixel using a 2.75-inch sensor and an f3.5 aperture. This is your super telephoto. On the left, there's a 3x optical zoom mid-telephoto lens with a massive 200 mAh sensor and an f2.2 aperture. That sensor is huge at 1.28 inches and even supports telephoto macro down to 15 centimeters. On the right side sits the main camera, also 200 mAh, with a 1.12-inch sensor and a bright f1.5 aperture. Below that, there's a 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens. And next to it, you'll find the second generation single lens color calibration sensor, still built around a dual periscope core system. This generation clearly pushes telephoto performance further, while also upgrading to larger sensors overall. In terms of size, the previous model measured 8.8 millimeters thick, while this one is slightly slimmer at 8.6 millimeters. But interestingly, it's a bit heavier, going from 228.8 grams up to 236.9 grams. That extra weight likely comes from the bigger battery, which has jumped from 6,100 milliamp hours to a massive 7,050 milliamp hours. Looking at the camera bump, the previous generation had a combined thickness of 14.1 millimeters, but now it's increased to 15.2 millimeters. The flash module also sticks out more, going from 9.2 millimeters to 10.5 millimeters. The X9 Ultra still uses a right-angled frame, but in hand it feels slightly sharper and more defined compared to before. The button layout hasn't changed. The volume and power buttons are in the same place, along with the shortcut button on the left side. But here's something unique. It might be the only Ultra phone right now that still includes a dedicated camera button. And not just that, it's styled as an orange shutter button. That's a very clear nod to Hasselblad. On the previous generation, the shutter button sat flush with the frame. This time, though, it's been redesigned. There's a chamfered edge around it, and the button itself sits slightly recessed, giving it a more tactile, camera-like feel. The display here measures 6.82 inches, and the bezels are impressively slim at just 1.4 millimeters. What's nice is that all 4 sides are evenly balanced, though the curvature of the corners feels a bit different compared to the Find X9 Pro. It actually leans more toward the previous generation's style. Now, let's talk about software, because there's a pretty interesting upgrade in ColorOS 16 this time. It's called the Gold Edition ColorOS 16. And yeah, that small gold badge doesn't just look premium, it also introduces a new kind of lock screen guide. What really sets this lock screen apart from the usual dynamic one is that it works in two distinct modes. The first is called Proud Wolf mode. For example, when you're playing music on QQ Music, it first shows up as a lock screen card, which is how ColorOS used to handle it. But now, if you swipe down from anywhere below that card, not from the very top, it transforms into this Proud Wolf mode. Then, if you swipe up again, it goes right back to the card view. And the animation between these states feels incredibly fluid. In this Proud Wolf mode, notifications take on a new style. WeChat messages, for instance, show both the sender's name and the message content in this redesigned format. The same applies to SMS and other app notifications. You can even swipe left or right to switch between different Proud Wolf panels, and the animations have this really lively, bouncy feel. If you swipe up from there, you enter another layer. This is more like a multi-app notification card, a second immersive mode, but it changes depending on the app you're using. Let's go back to music as an example. In Proud Wolf mode, tapping on QQ Music minimizes the time and date, giving more room for album art, lyrics, and the music controls below. You can even switch between viewing album art with lyrics or a full lyrics-only display. Now, if you also have NetEase Cloud Music open, you'll see two music players. By swiping the card below, you can smoothly switch between these two apps while staying in immersive mode. And if you swipe down anywhere, it takes you right back to Proud Wolf mode. Another great example is navigation apps. When you're using one, it can display a full screen, real-time route right on the lock screen. You can tap to switch between your current position and the full route overview. And by tapping the Proud Wolf icon below, you can quickly jump between different apps or even different map apps. It's actually a very efficient system once you get used to it. All of this makes the Find X9 Ultra feel even more refined and powerful. But honestly, the most impressive part of this Ultra is still that built-in camera system. That's it for my first impressions of the OPPO Find X9 Ultra. I'll be posting a full in-depth review on April 21st after the official launch. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.